Alright y'all, so in this video we're going to be talking about greenhouses. We're going to go over a couple pros and cons of a couple, so let's go. Alright, so we're going to start off with this pretty basic greenhouse right here. It gets the job done. It's not nothing too terrific. It just exists here. So we have a basic greenhouse set up with some rocks underneath it to provide some extra support. And also this thing is latched to those rocks, and here we have plenty of room for this stuff. So a couple pros is it's very, very spacious. It does provide room for enough plants. And it does fit a decently sized garden, except like, yeah, we have a smaller one this year because my cat kept eating the peppers. We have to get a lot of plants from some like older plants for this year. That's unfortunate though. But they're all really nice and organized. It's really nice and organized. A couple cons is that it could be small for larger gardens. And this thing easily blows away in the wind if it's not secured. And also this is a tarp, it's nothing special. So for some people that hate tarps, don't worry, there's people out there that hate tarps. Too bad for you, you're gonna have to use this. Alright, so now let's talk about this larger one. Right now it just suits the tractors, it houses the tractors I mean. But it is really good for planting. We used this last year. Now if the cat didn't eat all the clippings, we probably would be good to go for this one this year. It's really spacious, so a couple pros are it can fit a lot. It can fit two massive tractors in here, so it's definitely really spacious. And it also is also pretty good for a lot of other things too. The cons here are as follows. So it's very big, so wind, when it hits it, will blow it away occasionally if it's not really well secured. And also, these things right here are pretty annoying to set up, and they require so many people to carry them around, so yeah. So next up, we're going to be talking about a greenhouse I don't have, but I've been in a greenhouse like this before. It's a greenhouse where it has a door, has a lot of windows to it. Sun can get into it. It's really good. It also keeps a lot of rainwater out because some greenhouses cannot really prevent sideways rain from getting into it. So unfortunately, yeah, that's a major problem for a lot of these greenhouses. But fortunately, this one is really well made. So that's a pro, is that not a lot of rainwater gets into it, so that way you can keep it safe and secure. And also it's really well made for sunlight. A couple cons are that you have to spend a lot more money. Like these greenhouses, that would be thousands to build. These greenhouses were just probably, I think they're under $250 to build. I mean, not build, buy, because we bought these pre-made. So, and it does require some work for those that don't love putting in work for farming. So we're going to talk about sort of like a patio one. These are the ones that set up on like people's patios. If this had like a cover on it, yes, this would be really good for that. The pros are is that sunlight can still reach into it, just like a healthy amount, not like an extreme amount. It's sort of like this one. Sun can still reach into it, even with a dark cover on top. And it's also overlooking, and for some people's backyards, really good views. So really good for that. It's overlooking a lot of views of like pool sides and a lot of other things here. It's sort of like a little patio set up here, also like a little gazebo for some as well. And if you build it in sort of a gazebo, you can also sort of add like some add-ons in here to make it more than just that, and also sort of like a place to hang out. It's also much bigger and can fit a lot of plants in here. A couple cons are though is that sometimes it gets a little bit too dark, especially on the cloudier days, especially around this time when we get a lot of severe weather over here. Well, not a lot, but some. We did have a severe thunderstorm warning over here the other day, and there was some pretty flashy lightning and thunder over here. So, unfortunately, yeah, that is something that does happen if you store them in like a patio sort of thing. And also, if it's a commonly visited place, you're gonna have some klutzy people that'll trip and fall over them. So I'd recommend, this one is really good if your patio is like sort of like unused and you want some space in this thing. But if you have a lot of people that walk in and out of it, I'd recommend only storing it to a small portion of it. If you enjoyed what you just saw, like and subscribe, because I'm just trying to speed run those 4,000 hours. It's taking forever, but we'll get there someday.